Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. I just want to say one thing. Those of you that are purchasing on Etsy, make sure you use the promo code if it doesn't give you an automatic discount. So when you go to checkout, it's going to have a spot that says coupon code. That's where you want to type TMH New Year 26 as one word. And then it should apply the 40% off discount. So I just want to make sure you get your discount. Trust me, it's worth it when you do get that deduction. So, y'all, we're going to talk about something that occurred probably a little less than a day ago. Israel decided to try to strike a nuclear site in Iran. Now, this nuclear plant supplies power to the country. You know, a lot of people have nuclear power. So, anyway, Israel tried to take it out. Well, hours later, Iran flew their jets over to Israel and they dropped a bomb in Dimona and another location that has a nuclear plant is Arad. And of course, it shocked the daylights out of Israel, you know, because they're not used to people retaliating on them like that. And you can see Iran is like, they about that life. They're about eye for an eye. You come for mine, I'm coming for yours. That's how they operate. So anyway, it left craters in the ground and everything. So you're going to hear a lot more about that. But yeah, so at the end of the day, you try to take their site out, they're going to take yours out. And boy, you know, it was talking about also how Donald Trump was shocked over the fact that they tried to do that. Well, you know, they did not strike first. And that's the, you know, because that's how y'all always try to act like a victim when you are actually the perpetrator that started it all. And then as soon as somebody come back on you, then all of a sudden you're the victim. You know, y'all do this all the time, all the time. And, you know, at the end of the day, Donald Trump and Netanyahu, you should have just left these people alone. You really should have. And you know what I gotta do? I gotta let you hear the foreign minister address Donald Trump. This is a different guy that I'd never seen before, but he's Iranian. And he pretty much let Donald Trump know he ain't calling no shots when it comes down to this war. I might have to play that for you at least by tomorrow. So, anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Beneath me here is the crater that was left by the direct hit that the Iranian missile made. It had a 200-meter blast range, so you can see the buildings, one brought down there, there's a kindergarten over there. These apartment buildings here stripped bare the facades by the force of the impact. Over here, you'll see another building that's been brought down, essentially. This is major devastation near the nuclear facility of Dimona. That is why this area is being targeted, but it's civilians who are bearing the brunt of this. A number of casualties, huge damage, and a major physical, visible reminder of what the Iranian threat still means to the Israeli people.
Breaking news, Iran war update. Iran is now bombing Israel's Dimona area, the site of their undeclared nuclear facility, and making it rain missiles over there. They also launched ballistic missiles at the U.S. UK military base on Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean, about 4,000 kilometers away, shocking the West by showing their missiles can reach that far. 2 were fired. 1 was shot down, the other missed. But what confuses me about this whole thing is how Western leaders now call Iran untrustworthy liars for supposedly hiding their missile capabilities. Everyone thought Iran's range topped at around 2,000 kilometers. Well, my question is, did Iran ever officially claim that limit, or did the West just assume it? But even if Iran misled about it, they have every right to keep defense secrets in wartime. It's starting to feel like bizarre world. The U.S. and Israel started this illegal war campaign, yet they're outraged that their adversary has stronger weapons than expected and accused them of lying. We've forgotten how the U.S. and Israel lied during negotiations with Iran and attacked them multiple times. Now they cry about deception? Iran has the right to defend itself, build weapons, and not disclose everything. A better question for Western nations, how about stop bombing countries and starting illegal wars? And speaking of illegal wars, just last week, Israel assassinated Iran's security chief, Ali Larijani, not with a precise targeted killing, but by bombing 3 to 5 possible locations, including apartment buildings full of civilians. Over 100 dead in each to get 1 man. That's not justified or moral. It's straight up terrorism. And the crazy part, not one Western media outlet calls it out or discusses the civilian deaths. Imagine if Iran did the same to Israel, bombing multiple buildings to kill 1 person and slaughtering hundreds of civilians. We'd never hear the end of it. Western media is complicit in these war crimes by staying silent. If they reported the truth, maybe Israel and the U.S. would think twice before committing such acts.
Iran fired ballistic missiles into the southern Israeli city of Dimona. Dimona, and this is the part I need you to really hear, is home to the Shimon Peres Negev Nuclear Research Center. That is Israel's primary nuclear facility. The one that has never, in the entire history of modern warfare in the Middle East, been directly targeted. Until last night. Israel's Iron Dome, the system that the United States has spent billions of dollars funding, the system that is supposed to be the gold standard of missile interception technology, the system that Israeli officials have publicly called the most advanced short-range defense shield on Earth, failed. The interceptors launched. They missed. A ballistic missile with a warhead weighing hundreds of kilograms hit a nuclear city. And then hours later, it happened again in nearby Arad. In one night, Israel's missile defense failed twice in the same region, near the same nuclear site. 180 people were wounded. If you have family, if you have a job, if you pay attention to oil prices, energy costs, or what a gallon of gas costs you every week, then what I'm about to walk you through is going to matter to you directly, because this war is no longer a regional conflict. Last night, it crossed a threshold that military historians have been warning about for decades. And if you want to understand what comes next, not the version the cable news networks are giving you between commercials, but the documented, sourced, cold, hard reality, then stay with me right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification, because stories like this are exactly why this channel exists. The mainstream media will give you the headline. We're going to give you the full picture. Let's start with what the Israeli military actually said, in their own words, because this is not interpretation. This is the official IDF statement released within hours of the strike. Israeli firefighters on the ground in Dimona confirmed it plainly. Interceptors were launched that failed to hit the threats, resulting in 2 direct hits by ballistic missiles with warheads weighing hundreds of kilograms. The IDF then announced it was launching a formal investigation into the failure. Read that again. The Israeli Defense Forces, one of the most battle-tested military organizations on the planet, launched an investigation into why their own missile defense system didn't work. That is not a minor technical glitch. That is an admission that the most strategically sensitive region in Israel, the region containing a nuclear facility, was unprotected when it mattered most. And then came the arrest. Because buried inside the chaos of last night, buried under the casualty reports and the Netanyahu statements and the sirens, Israeli police and intelligence agencies quietly announced that a reservist serving in a unit of the Iron Dome missile defense system had been arrested on suspicion of selling sensitive security information to contacts he knew worked for Iran. His name is Raz Cohen. He is 26 years old. He is a resident of Jerusalem. He served in the Iron Dome reserves. And according to Israeli National Police and Intelligence Services, he handed over sensitive security information, potentially the kind of information that tells you exactly when the system is most vulnerable, exactly what its interception protocols look like, to people connected to Tehran. Let that sink in. The night Iran's missiles pierced Israel's nuclear defense shield, a man who worked inside that shield had already been arrested for selling it to the enemy. I am not connecting dots that aren't there. I am reading you the verified source timeline. Now let's talk about Iran's target, because calling this a strike near a nuclear facility, which is how several major outlets are framing it this morning, is doing a lot of diplomatic work. Dimona is not near a nuclear research center the way your neighborhood is near a gas station. Dimona is the nuclear research center. The Shimon Peres Negev Nuclear Research Center is embedded in that landscape. It is why Dimona exists as a city. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said it out loud on
bomb Israel's nuclear sites in a city called Dimona. So this city apparently hosts Israel's nuclear projects and programs. Just in case you do not know, Israel has nuclear weapons. They've refused inspections of their nuclear weapons. They don't even admit that they have nuclear weapons. Keep in mind, this is the same country that has committed genocide, okay, having nuclear weapons. But the United States is so worried about Iran having nuclear weapons when they were under a religious mandate that said that they were not going to be building nuclear weapons, but I digress. The point is, Iranian missiles, even though the guy in the White House is saying that their capabilities are gone, their navy is gone, their nuclear sites are gone, everything is gone, and we won. But we keep seeing bomb, and bang from Iran, right? And so they've been very clear. If you continue targeting our oil sites, if you continue targeting our sites for research, remember, they're killing a lot of nuclear scientists in Iran as well. If you continue targeting that stuff, we're going to target your stuff as well. And that's exactly what they did.
Overnight, Iranian ballistic missiles slammed into parts of Israel, inflicting the kind of destruction not seen here since the start of the war. Nearly 200 wounded in strikes in the central cities of Dimona and Arad. And into the morning, hitting population centers such as Tel Aviv. Officials are investigating how the missiles pierced Israel's multi-layered air defense systems amid worries Israel may be running low on interceptors as the war enters a fourth week. The launch of two long-range ballistic missiles fired toward the joint U.S.-UK military base of Diego Garcia. That's around 2,000 miles away in the Indian Ocean, raising serious concerns about both the reach and number of these types of weapons. Iran claimed it was not developing missiles that could cover more than roughly 1,200 miles, but these longer-range launches now potentially put European capitals and more U.S. military bases at risk. Iranian state media has framed the overnight attacks on Israel as retaliation for the bombing of the Natanz nuclear facility. We're at the scene of one of those strikes. You can see the crater behind me and destruction in every direction. But officials tell me as bad as this was, it could have been a lot worse because it landed in the middle of a block of apartment buildings instead of on top of one.
Last night, Iranian missiles hit two cities in southern Israel. One of them is 20 kilometers from Israel's only nuclear facility, and Israeli air defenses failed to stop them. So here's what happened. Earlier on Saturday, Iran's Natanz nuclear enrichment facility was struck. Iran said it was hit by the US and Israel. Israel denied responsibility. Then, hours later, Iran fired ballistic missiles at the cities of Dimona and Arad, both in the Negev desert in Israel, and both near Israel's Shimon Peres Nuclear Research Center. This is a facility Israel has never officially confirmed or denied holds nuclear weapons. It's the most protected airspace in the country. And here's the part that changes things. Israel's military did confirm that interceptors were launched at the incoming missiles, but simply failed to hit them. Two ballistic missiles got through, both carrying warheads weighing hundreds of kilograms. The Israeli military said the missiles were, quote, not special or unfamiliar. They just missed them. In Arad, more than 80 people were wounded, 10 apartment buildings were damaged, and 3 are in danger of collapsing. In Dimona, around 20 more were hurt. Iran's parliament speaker posted on X that if Israel cannot intercept missiles in the most heavily protected area of the country, then this is, quote, a sign of entering a new phase. Meanwhile, Israel's army chief said, quote, this war is not close to ending. And this is the first time Israel's nuclear site has been targeted in this conflict.
Whoa. 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 Abba. Whoa. Whoa. Abba, this is the first part. Wow. That is crazy. Wow.
Iran has launched one of the most dramatic and dangerous strikes of the ongoing war, targeting areas around Israel's most sensitive nuclear zone in the southern desert. And what happened in those critical minutes has shaken military analysts, global leaders, and civilians alike. So before we go deeper into how this strike unfolded, which missiles were used, and what it means for the future of the region, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you the most accurate and fastest updates on global conflicts. And now let's break down the full story behind this high-risk escalation. In the early hours of the 22nd of March, 2026, sirens suddenly pierced the silence across southern Israel, especially in the desert region surrounding Dimona, a location known worldwide for housing Israel's most secretive nuclear research facility. And within moments, radar systems detected multiple incoming ballistic missiles launched from Iran, marking one of the closest direct threats ever recorded near this highly sensitive nuclear zone. And according to confirmed reports, several missiles entered Israeli airspace at high speed. Hey guys, good morning. Right now we are in the city of Arad in southern Israel, where overnight an Iranian ballistic missile slammed into an apartment complex, wounding at least 100 people. I do want to just show you the scene behind me here. You can see damage to this building right here. These apartments totally gutted with rubble, as crews are still on the scene, ensuring there are no unexploded ordinances and things like that. My cameraman Yaniv's going to pan over to this bus. You can see the shattered window of the bus, that windshield there, as this explosion took place, rocking the area. We have some video overnight showing the flames rising from these buildings as first responders arrived on the scene. Civilians were escorted out. This is an area packed with civilians. And it just gives you a sense of how dangerous these Iranian ballistic missiles are as they slam into central Israel. Reports that there was another cluster munition launched just about 30 minutes ago. We also know the Israeli
They actually did it. In a move that military analysts and intelligence agencies have been dreading for decades, Iran just crossed the ultimate unthinkable red line. The target, Dimona, Israel's most tightly guarded secret, the absolute crown jewel of their nuclear arsenal sitting deep in the Negev desert. Hit. And this isn't just some wild social media rumor. This is a confirmed catastrophic ballistic missile strike that has instantly dragged the entire globe to the precipice of World War III. Tonight, we are not just looking at a regional conflict. We are looking at a geopolitical earthquake. Buildings in the south of Israel have collapsed. The military sensors are scrambling. Sirens are blaring across the region. And the fallout from this exact moment is going to shatter the global economy, rewrite the map of the Middle East, and potentially bring Western capital
it just goes to show you how deep this war really truly is. If they really directly hit each other's nuclear sites, that fallout can go worldwide. So that's really serious. But you should know by now. I mean, this war is going on. We're just a few days away from a month that it's been going, and it's no sign of it ending at all. So, y'all, this is deep. When I saw this, I was like, that is crazy. But when I started reading, yeah, Israel struck them first, at their location, and they were just retaliating. So there is no sign of this thing stopping, and I gotta play you that warning from Iran's foreign minister, what he said to Donald Trump. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll have to put that one together. So, everybody, thank you for being here. I do have one more live on the healthcare. A lot of people are getting kicked off by the millions. And, of course, there's a lot of complaints about the affordability, and the amount of people that are going to be uninsured with healthcare in this country is going to be record breaking. So, y'all, have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you later. Now, let me look. There's one. Mr. Soulful 42, thank you so much for the super sticker and your support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. Shalom, family.